Council members, just for the record, I wanted to, before I turn it over to our attorney, I wanted us to state our name. You have been selected. I selected you to be council members of this ethics complaint. And so just for the record, I want to make sure you.
Councilman Nathaniel Cole Senior,
District.
District 1.
Newton Gunter, District 2.
District 2.
Kimberly Johnson Rainey, District 1.
District 1. Okay. At this point, we're going to now turn it over. You have before you the complaint itself as well as the ordinance, and we're going to turn it over to our attorney at this moment.
Thank you, Councilman. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I wanted to explain how we got here and what you as a body are supposed to do moving forward. So a complaint has been filed against the mayor under your ordinances, specifically 2-234B. When that happens, the mayor pro tem is to appoint 3 members of council to serve as an investigative committee. He has done so. We just talked about that. The 3 of you serve as the investigative committee. You are tasked with reviewing only the complaint, which is the document that was filed by the complainant against the official. If you so choose, you can have that matter go to a full hearing before the entirety of the council. It's at that hearing that you would be allowed to receive evidence and receive response to the complaint. It's intended, I believe, as an investigative committee to first determine whether or not the complaint lays out grounds that can actually be heard by the city council. There's been some confusion, or at least some questions raised as to why you're doing this publicly. The ordinance does not require you to have a meeting. You as the 3 members of the committee, you're not required to meet, but if you do meet, you are required under the Open Meetings Act to notice it and hold it publicly. So that's what you're doing here today. Previously, the council investigative committees have said administratively, yes, we want to move forward, or no, we don't want to move forward. But you are a body of 3, so 2 of you decide whether or not to move forward or not. I do want to provide a little bit of comment, okay, regarding what's been filed. A couple of notes. It appears that this complaint has been filed against 2 individuals, Mayor Bruce Bailey and Miss Tina Bailey. At this point, I have not received any information regarding a position that Miss Tina Bailey holds in the city government that would allow her to be subject to the ethics ordinance.
Correct.
If you look at the 2-227 of the Code of Ethics, which you all got a copy of, the provisions of this Code of Ethics shall be applicable to the mayor, all members of the city council, planning and zoning commission, board of zoning appeals, all advisory commissions, committee members, and certain employees. I'm not aware of anything that Ms. Bailey holds any of those positions.
Repeat that again.
227.
2-227.
It's on the first page.
I know,
First
but
page.
read what you just said.
All members of the city council, planning and zoning commission, board of zoning appeals, all advisory commissions, committee members, and certain employees.
Okay, committee members. She is a committee member, so she was appointed to the housing authority.
So the housing
Not
authority,
the housing authority, but
WCCP.
WCCP.
is that a city
Which-
entity?
That is a city entity that receives money from the city.
So
Yes.
it would have to be a city entity, not just an appointment we make to their boards.
Okay.
A housing authority would be a good example. A housing authority is created by the state legislator. Even though
Okay.
we make appointments, they're not under our control.
Correct.
Right.
So, I'm not saying I know one way or the other. I
Right.
just know in the complaint, it doesn't allege Miss Bailey's position.
Correct.
So
Gotcha.
that's an issue for y'all to consider.
So,
As to the actual complaint itself, there are, they've identified 4 grounds. They list them as a decorum violation, slander and distribution of false information, 3 HIPAA violations, 4 misuse of public resources. If you will look at the Code of Ethics, and you look at section 2-229, standards of conduct, A through K are what are listed as your Code of Ethics. As I review the complaint and hold it up against A through K, if you're working backwards, misuse of public resources, I'll let y'all make your decisions on how you want to move forward, but it looks like the claim involves resources that aren't the cities, the county. So I'm not sure that there's anything there. 3 HIPAA violations. There's nothing in the standards of conduct that talk anything about federal HIPAA law. Slander, distribution of false information, that's also nothing. I mean, remember, an ethics ordinance isn't just you should be a good person or you should operate in a certain way. You have to look at what you actually have in your ethics ordinance. Y'all's ethics ordinance is much more geared towards use of resources to your personal benefit, not necessarily you're nice to everybody, or you vote a certain way.
Right.
So, and then lastly, the decorum violation, though there is a section of the ethics ordinance that speaks to decorum, I'll leave it up to you guys. Number one, y'all use a separate section in practice for your decorum. But again, it's in the ethics ordinance all the same. But maybe most importantly, when you review number one, there is no action identified in number one that actually constitutes the decorum issue. It just says that it was violated. So now that doesn't mean that y'all can't move forward. It's
Right.
y'all body
Right.
you control. I'll just tell you that the complaint itself is what you are required to look at. And if you do move forward, everybody will get a chance to present information. But before you do that, you have to be satisfied that there's something that ties this complaint to the
To the,
ordinance.
yeah. Well, definitely, two things you mentioned with Tina Bailey. Again, she sits on that board, and that will be something for this committee to examine at another date. She sits on that board, and matter of fact, I think the city gives about $90,000, help me, Councilman Cullors. I think about $90,000 or $95,000
Yes.
to WCCP,
WCCP, yeah.
which I sits on that board also. So that's something for us to discuss at a later
Right.
date. But as it relates to a citizen, our ordinance does not allow a ethics complaint to be
Correct.
filed against a citizen. But this is just the beginning to start, and we'll put that out there also. So,
But let me say
yes.
this, if I remember correctly, their description, and we'll have to get that, they say they are a quasi-government agency.
okay,
So,
So WCCP, is it Family Connections?
yes.
Okay. Family Connections is typically a state entity, or at least in a lot of times it serves as the Community Service Board. I don't know if it's the same thing here. But it depends on how they're put together. From what I can tell, Wilkes County Community Partnership, it's not a city entity, even though you give
Okay.
money to it, or you
Okay.
may fund it,
Okay.
or even make an appointment to it. You wouldn't have the, say for instance, the city council couldn't say, we do away with it.
yeah,
You
That's
know,
correct.
Or you couldn't establish policies for it.
Correct.
right.
That's correct.
Well, just like you mentioned about those other planning committees, the planning committee, that is an entity of
Created
the
by
city
the city,
itself. Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Or-
that makes decision.
You have a historical.
Yeah.
Committee, that's a city entity.
Entity.
WCCP, as far as I can tell, it's not a city-created entity. even
It's
if you-
not.
It's
Even if you
not.
get funding
No,
to
no,
it.
no.
It's not.
Okay, okay. Okay, those was a couple of things that I had that I wanted to make sure this committee understand, but as we move forward with it, Councilman Cullors, anything else that you want to discuss?
Well, there's nothing else I want to discuss, but I think I'm gonna make a motion that we take this to full council.
Just before your motion, if you don't mind,
But go
I
ahead.
want to make sure if there's
Okay.
anything else. Mr.
no.
If I
Gunner,
could make one.
I'm sorry, I
point,
apologize for that.
If you would, since it's against two people, and again, I'm telling y'all, I don't see anything from Miss Bailey. If y'all would take them up individually. that way I
Okay,
reckon.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yes,
And by the way,
That's
because this is an open meeting, I am going to take minutes. I know that the city clerk's out of town,
yes,
and I'll provide that to you as committee members before your next city council meeting.
Okay.
okay, yes, okay. I'm sorry, Councilman Cullors, but
No, I
I
have
just wanted to
nothing.
hear from the other
Okay.
committee members first.
My opinion of it is it doesn't have any teeth in what the actual, this says, you know. I mean, if it was something to it that was in our ordinance that he was wrong, you know, then you got legitimate cause to go on forward with it. But I don't see anything there, you know.
So tell me what you're talking about, you don't see anything there. Give me an example, that they filed against him. Tell me something that you feel that's not appropriate to move forward with.
Well, I mean, like the lawyer said, I mean, I don't know how to exactly describe what I'm saying. It's like,
Well, let me help you out just a little bit because I think, you know, this, I don't want to get into the discussion.
right.
Right, that's why I said we
Yeah,
move
yeah,
forward.
yeah.
to
I don't want to get into discussion, but I just
Full
want to
council.
hear. And then Councilman Rainey, council member, please forgive me.
fine.
For the 5 years I've been saying councilman, I got to say councilwoman now. So please forgive me. No
fine.
disrespect. Anything that you want to add?
Well, I'm looking at the first violation and decorum. It says all city officials shall conduct themselves at all times with dignity and respect for others in a manner to ensure appropriate decorum in the deliberations of city business and to reflect the responsibilities incumbent upon a city official. I was not an elected official at that time, and I thought the actions of the mayor during that meeting did not hold decorum very well.
Okay.
And that was my personal opinion at the time of the meeting, and I was just like, this is wrong.
Okay. Councilman Colors, now I'll take your motion.
I make a motion, we take this before the full council for investigation, as to say what we do from there. That's my motion, take it before full council.
Is that to both parties?
Oh, yes, that's right. I want to first just use Mayor Bailey to take before the full council. Ms. Bailey, like the attorney said, none and void, so
None and void,
I make a
yes.
motion we take Bruce Bailey's to the full council.
And dismiss.
And dismiss
Tina
Tina.
Bailey.
Yes.
That's my motion.
I second.
Okay. It has been proper motion and second by Councilman Colors and Councilwoman Rainey that we move forward in taking this to the full council. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so move.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Next,
it.
next step.
That's it.
I go to the next meeting.
You,
Meeting adjourned.
oh, you go to your next meeting.
Yeah, I got, y'all don't have to go with me if you don't want to.
Unless it's at dinner, that's, well, with that, then I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So move.